Okay, so so you guys just kicked the shit out of everybody in the bar, accepted some gold from these merchants, and
Is that 100 gold split, or is it like 100 gold each?
it's 100. It's a pouch of 100 gold. You can split it however you like. The guy gave it to you.
Alright. Half to Ian, half to me then.
Okay, and then you guys put a crosshair on a piece of paper and said, "You have been warned." Went on this piece of paper and threw this guy out on the street. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Holy shit. Okay. Alright. So, now you guys are going to go look for the Duke. And that is going to put you right here. Torvald, you have actually been to the Duke's Manor. When you were exploring this city yesterday,
Yeah.
you came across it.
Yeah, but we haven't gotten the summons yet, from what the guard said.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I guess,
So you guys are free to explore the city for a little bit.
what time of day is it?
It's about mid-morning, like 10 o'clock, say. 10, 11-ish.
Uh. I'm gonna take I want to take a long rest. If possible, so that I can, attempt to blacksmith some stuff.
Okay. You're going to continue working on your chainmail leggings?
Chainmail. Yeah.
Alright, go ahead and roll me blacksmithing tools. If I recall, you are not yet proficient in these, right?
No.
Right, you're just able to use them. Okay, cool. So go ahead and roll me a strength check.
19.
19? Okay. That's pretty good. You are almost done with your chainmail leggings. You could probably finish them during a short rest if you spend a little more time doing that.
Alright.
While you are doing that, Avina is kind of off by herself, doing her own thing. Trollis, what do you want to spend the afternoon doing? You haven't yet ventured into this city.
Yeah, and that's probably for the better. My character is not a city person.
Okay. So you're just
Neither
kind of
is
like
mine.
lingering. Are you going to hang out at the Manticore's Tail for the majority of the day?
Yeah, I'll probably be like out in the woods or the plains, whatever.
Okay. Yeah, so you're kind of out here in the fields where Torvald and Avina were training before. Actually, if you come out here, you will see Avina, who is currently firing her short bow into the side of a tree over and over. You don't have to approach her, that's just a thing she is doing.
I'll just watch her for a while.
Okay. She looks frustrated, but you can see she is training quite vigorously.
I'll walk over. Oh, sorry. What?
Oh, go ahead.
I'll walk over and put a hand on her shoulder. And I said, regardless of today, you did well.
She just kind of shakes her head, but doesn't really say anything. Okay. So, some time goes on, and before you know it, there is, you see, like a courtier coming up the road. Or courier, sorry, not a courtier. Courier coming up the road. And he is in nice clothing, and he ducks into the Manticore's tail.
I follow him in.
Alright, so you guys go on back in. And when you come back in, it's been a few hours. We're gonna go ahead and say that these bodies have been cleared out because, like, come on, who the heck wants a bunch of corpses around your bar, right? These guys are all.
Look at that butcher's god on his plate. I think that's where the bodies went.
That's it right there. You caught him.
They serve Soylent here.
Okay. A lot of the townsfolk have come back. People are just kind of drinking and chilling the way they were before. When you come in, the bartender is looking at you with a pretty, almost a sort of incredulous look on his face as the courier is speaking to him. And then the courier heads on out of the Manticore's tail.
Alright, walk up to the bartender, ask, what was he here for?
Says, well,
Aren't you a nosy motherfucker?
he was here to deliver a message for you. When you told me that you had a contract for Yordagar, I didn't know it was your job to kill everything in it. So we've heard tales that there were monsters there, but we never thought that anybody would be able to do anything about it. Most of us had just given up hope of Yordagar.
It wasn't easy, and it wasn't just us. There was another group just like us. We teamed up and we took on the monsters together.
I see. Well, regardless, the Duke wants to speak to you about it. If it were me, I would get there pretty quickly. He's not a man you want to keep waiting. But be
Alright.
safe, because you're pretty easy to spot, and you guys have put yourself into a spot of trouble, helping those merchants out the way you did. He doesn't say it threateningly or anything. You can tell he's just like, be careful out there.
Y'all be careful now.
Y'all be careful now.
Right.
Alright, so now, if you want, you guys can head to the Duke's.
Sure.
Let's go.
Okay. Torvald leads you guys on a tour through the city. Trollis, how are you feeling as you guys are moving through these busy stalls? Think like downtown Austin if there were no cars. Just people walking fucking everywhere. Buildings, shops everywhere.
Yeah. Meh. Not very comfortable, and if somebody bumps into me, I don't give it a second thought.
Okay.
Shoulder check the fuck out of them.
God damn.
Actually, a few people bump into you. Go ahead and make me a perception check.
They better not be trying to steal my shit. I got a nat 20.
A nat 20.
Yeah.
Alright. You feel a tug in your pocket. And you kind of instinctively like reach for it, and you catch a hand just as it's leaving your pocket.
And then my other hand's gonna grab his throat.
So you turn around and you lift a grubby little kid, like a good 2 feet off the ground, and you're holding him by his throat and holding his arm at length. He's just like,
Big
Dude, is that the same
mistake,
kid? Is that
kid.
the same kid from before?
make me a perception check.
Hell yeah. 16.
16?
Yeah.
It could be. He was wearing a hood before. I don't really remember what color it is. But it is.
I say-
You do remember it was a grubby little kid.
I say, hey, aren't you the kid that I saw the other day who was trying to steal from my pocket?
And he goes, I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm gonna squeeze his throat a lot harder.
He's like, ah!
Put me down. I didn't do anything.
Bullshit.
Fucking head off.
You cut his head off.
No, I'm joking. I'm
Okay.
joking. But
Behead him in the streets.
Nope, I'm just gonna carry him at arm's length by the throat to the nearest guard.
hey!
Okay, it doesn't take you long before you're able to find just like a couple of city guards on patrol.
Like, found this little kid trying to take advantage of the 5-finger discount.
And they're like, you again. They're like, God damn it. And they're like, we've been having a lot of trouble with this one here. He's a little weasel. And
I say, did you let him go yesterday?
Well, funny that you should ask. We didn't run into any trouble yesterday, but we heard there was a little incident over at the North Watchtower, and this little weasel may be the one who had managed to get out. I couldn't say for sure because I never saw his face.
I've been down, asked the kid, like,
They're gonna take him
who
into
let you out?
custody. You ask him who let you out,
Yeah.
and he says, I don't know anything, and he spits on the ground at your feet.
I
He's
backhand
like,
him.
I'm just a
Yeah.
kid. You backhand him. As
Yeah.
you do so, one of the guards kind of just like winces watching, and they're like, okay, none of that now. We'll take care of him back at the watchtower, and we'll keep a close eye on this one. And the kid's just like, ugh! Like after you backhand him. Ugh!
Like, where I come from, they'll remove a finger every time they try that.
And the guards say, well, if he keeps this up, we just might. And they say, thank you for aiding justice. And they give you a nod, and they kind of turn and leave, like, arm in arm with this little street rat as they carry him off.
Off
I'm gonna
to
turn
the
to
break.
Torvald and be like, what's with this place and justice?
I don't know, but I don't like it.
Yeah,
I do not like the big city.
there's too many people for my blood.
Let's just go to the Duke and get this over with.
Okay. So you guys continue on the way to the Duke's, and you manage to make it there. Troll us up there. You guys make it to the Duke's, and there's a pretty big gate. You see guards kind of up on these keep walls all around, like the main fort. And the front guard says, "Hold. What's your business here?"
We have a summons to meet the Duke.
Hmm. Oh, what's your name?
My name is Torvald. This is my companion Rorkwall. This is Evina, and this is Charles.
Hmm. And he sort of looks over his some papers that he's got. And he's like, "Ah, the Outlanders. Yes, that's right." And he sort of looks up and looks you over. And he's like, fitting name." And he says, "Follow me." And he leads you guys inside the watchtower. You can see security is very tight around here.
Motherfuckers in there judging.
And they
Yeah.
And they lead you guys in, and you see that the interior of the Duke's Keep is very extravagant. It's beautiful. And the Duke says, come see, boy. Come see. Come speak to me." And you guys all sort of approach the throne. And
Wow.
the Duke says, good day. My, look, just look at you." And you see him kind of sizing you up, and he's like, "Good lord, look at that beast. Does that thing follow you?
Yes, he does
Is
not
that your
leave
pet?"
pet. What kind of insult is that?
Ah, no insult meant, my boy. I've just never seen a man who traveled with a gorilla before.
Rorkwall is no slave. He is just my companion, and that is all.
Indeed. And who's this little one? Turning and looking at Avina.
That is Evina, the only other surviving member of my village.
Oh, where are you from?
I am from Skadi.
Scotty. And he sort of thinks for a minute. He's like, ah, yes, that little settlement out to the east. I forgotten about Scotty. The last surviving member, you say, what happened to it?
Raiders. I was out hunting and they came and killed everyone.
Oh, how very dreadful. Well, it's certainly nice to know we don't have to worry about such things here, isn't it?
I thought he was about to say, nice we don't have to worry about Scotty anymore. Like, good riddance. Sorry.
Yeah. No, he's just like, ah, well. No worries of that here, my boy. We've got plenty of city guard to keep things nice and tidy. Well,
Wish I could say the same.
well, whatever do you mean?
A group calling themselves the what were they called?
The Fasteners.
The who?
The Fasteners.
A group called the Fasteners ambushed a group of armed or
Unarmed merchant.
unarmed merchants. I couldn't think of the word for them. Okay. Unarmed merchants were attacked by the group.
Oh.
They came right into the tavern and shot arrows.
And you can see, as you say this, he sort of grimaces as if he has a bad taste in his mouth. He says, ah, yes, well. As it happens, that's one of the very things I wanted to speak to you about today. The issue regarding Yordagar, I had hired this particular gentleman named Valio. Where is he? And he's sort of peering around. He's like, I don't see him among you, but as I understand it, you had formed a contract with this man.
He stayed behind. We followed a trail of black smoke after defeating the leader of Yordagar. We followed that smoke to a crater. He stayed behind to survey it and watch over. We were speaking in his stead.
I see. Well, nonetheless, if you've managed to survive, and you've got Valior's approval, then perhaps you can help me regardless. These fasteners that you brought up, there's a particular issue I would like to tackle regarding the cleanup of the city, and that is precisely them. I would be interested in hiring the sort of people who are capable of handling a situation like Yordagar was. He says, mind you, we know Yordagar was bad, but the people really don't know how bad it is. If you can handle that, then perhaps you'd be willing to come up with a new deal, eh?
What kind of deal?
These fastener riffraff, we'd like you to figure out who they are and help us root out the problem, just so we can make this place a safer city for everyone.
Well, we ended our lead whenever we killed them in the tavern. And we threw the only surviving person out in the streets. So we'll have to find another one to question.
Yes, that's true. And he sort of looks you all over and he says, the sort of work that I'll need you to be doing, I would suggest you take care to keep your identities a secret as you go about this work. You're pretty easy to spot as you move around town. I've certainly never seen one of those hanging out with one of us before, and he's sort of gesturing towards Borgval.
God.
He says, well then, let's see, how about, say, 1,000 gold to the each of you regarding the gentleman here, and 1,000 gold to Valior when he returns, assuming that we're able to get all this work done properly, yes? What I'll need you to do is figure out where these ruffians are stationed up and report back to me when you get some information on where they are.
So
Okay.
we're not getting paid for our other contract?
Yeah, are
Yes, of course, not to worry. And he sort of like motions over to a guard. And he says, seeing as you formed a hunting party, the reward will get split 3 ways, as is dictated. And so he's going to hand each of you guys 800 gold. Trollis and Torvald there.
Alright.
Okay.
He's like, yes. So yes, now that that's been done, a new contract. I'd like to pay you, say, 1,000 gold apiece to figure out where they are and help the city guard bring these people to justice.
I have
Again.
yet another concern.
What's that?
There's a man I've been personally wanting to investigate. I did lose money to him in the, I believe it's called the Tits of, I don't know how the map, what is it? The Tits of Uptown.
The Tits of Uptown. As you say this, his eyebrows kind of raise and he smiles a little bit and he says, well, you're probably not the first man to have lost money in the Tits of Uptown. You're welcome to handle whatever business you'd like to handle on the side. That's no real consideration of ours, so long as you do it by the book.
I just want to see if this man is legitimate.
You're certainly welcome to do that, sir. I'm not stopping you. And he says, well then, do we have an agreement?
I look to Charles.
Just gonna like
Right.
silently nod.
This is
I nod too.
this is your job, Charles. You did live in isolation, but like this is, you would occasionally go to like the city.
Yep. That's
Okay.
why I nodded at him.
Cool. He says, wonderful. I'm happy to hear it. Well then, everybody, consider yourselves hired. Tell you what. We are having a little get-together here right now, and you're certainly welcome to attend. My cousin's having a bit of a party. It's the anniversary of the formation of the Merchants Union. Why don't you come see the sort of people you'll be working with? And he sort of ushers you guys off into the next room.
Oh boy.
So as you guys step in,
Two Outlanders in a lavish party. Yeah, okay. Oh, wow. They are not lavish at all. Never mind.
it's assumed that everybody's fairly decently well dressed, with the exception of you guys. But he sort of opens up the door to a ballroom, and you guys can see there's lots of people inside, like not just the ones you see before you here, but these faces certainly do stand out. It seems to be a pretty nice party. Torvald, make me a perception check.
That is going to be a 22.
Okay. So as you're glancing around the room, you're seeing a lot of different faces, and then your eyes settle on this figure. And he
Motherfucker.
looks strangely, there's something about this guy. I'm just like, that guy.
Oh, I know who that motherfucker is.
Alright, so as you step in, the Duke starts to like point out different faces, and he's like, yes, the Merchants Union. It's like they've been invaluable in restoring the prosperity of this city. And he starts pointing out different ones to you. Hang on, here we go. It's like, this one over there. That man, yes, you see, that is Frode Haldor. Oh, hang on.
Wait, who are you pointing to right now?
That guy.
The dude, the white background box? Like the motherfucker?
The blacksmith right there?
No, this guy, I assume, right?
Yes, this guy, right here.
Oh, hold on. You like dragged my screen over. I thought you were dead.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, I had to zoom out. Alright, do that again, I'm sorry.
Okay, so he just points to this one over there, or this fellow over here, and he says, "Oh, that's Frode Haldor, the Grand Master Blacksmith, and that gentleman over there," and he points to another one. He's like, "That's the head of mining over there. He's in charge of the mining industry. That's Balder Aldun. Quite a jolly old fellow, but quite rigorous as well. And that lady over there, you see a very elegantly dressed woman.
Oh, hey, it's Vane.
That is none other than Miss Adis herself, the senior chief engineer of the Engineers Guild. And that particularly scruffy-looking fellow, he points to this guy over here, is Captain Jarek. He's in charge of fishing, and as I understand, he occasionally helps with our shipping. And those two gentlemen over there, he points to these two guys. Those are they're speaking to each other. He says those are the heads of agriculture and horticulture. Or I'm sorry, livestock and horticulture. That would be Kushta and Vida are over there, and this gentleman playing the piano for all of us is Sealer Dag. Like,
Sealer Dag.
together with my cousin, these people have helped shape the very foundations of the city you walked through today. This room probably has more genius in it than you'll find in most places of the world. And as he's speaking, you see a figure emerge from this balcony up here, and he's sort of looking over everybody. And as he steps forward, everyone sort of kind of looks up at him, and he sort of raises his glass to speak. Just 1 second here while I locate this Bushka. Okay, here we go. Okay, so the man walks up and goes to speak, and everyone looks up at him, and he says, "Good evening, everyone. It's wonderful to have you here tonight. I'd like to thank you all for joining us this evening to celebrate with me the 4th anniversary of our union's creation. And we have, of course, my older brother, the Duke of the Pearl of the Shore, to thank for uniting us. But perhaps most importantly, we have you, the lifeblood of our association, to thank. You have each risen to the top of your industries because you are the best at what you do, and you know why you are here. You were carefully chosen to be a part of this group because you, like myself, love this beautiful city more than anything. You have lived, worked, and bled for your beloved Hildian all of your lives, and are willing to do what it takes to change our Pearl into the economic force it has become. For you, the brothers and sisters of Port Hildian's prosperity, we raise our glasses in toast." And everyone in the room raises their glasses. Can both of you make me an insight check?
Okay. I'm not gonna see shit.
18.
18? Torvald, you don't notice it, but Trollus, as he's speaking, you see everyone sort of smiling, but the people that the Duke had pointed out to you, the heads of the Merchant Union, they all have faces like stone. They are very serious looking. The Duke, or the Treasurer continues rather. "I'm happy to announce that Port Hildian's deficit is melting away as expected. Although the broom tax takes its toll on all of us, we'll likely be able to lift it in only a few years' time, sooner than expected. Business is steadily increasing in each industry, as I'm sure you're already aware, and an expansion in each sector is imminent. So I invite you all to take the night off, relax, cut loose for an evening. You've all more than earned it." And he raises his glass to Port Hildian, and everyone toasts, and he says, "To our Grand Duke," and everyone toasts. And lastly he says, "And to the prosperity of our posterity, the Merchant Union," and everyone toasts. glasses should be near empty by now, and everyone sort of chuckles. He says, I've heard enough of myself, friends. Have a wonderful night, everyone. And you see him turn, and he leaves the balcony again. And the Duke says, that was my cousin. It's a shame you may not get to see him unless you stick around. Would you like to?
No.
Perhaps. Well, actually,
Well, you can do what you want, but that's what my character would say.
yeah.
So you guys answer simultaneously, and the Duke sort of chuckles and he says, not to worry, dear boy. There's no need for you to stay here. You're free to go if you like. But if you have any interest in staying, you're more than welcome to, of course.
I look over at the guy playing the piano, and I ask the Duke, what does that guy do exactly?
And he says, Sealer, yes. As I believe it, he is the head of shipping. He has a rather influential company, and they handle most of the industrial import and export that goes on in Port Hildian. We trade with a couple of other cities north and south of here. But as I understand it, he is my cousin's right-hand man. Why do you ask?
Oh, I'm just curious, that's all.
He plays a lovely piano, doesn't he?
Yes, it's very uplifting. I don't recognize piano music. It's like a bunch of noise. In
Yeah.
fact, my character doesn't really appreciate music that well.
Yeah. Well, you're hearing like the very like extravagant ball music right now, but Sealer's just sort of playing the piano to everybody. Make me a perception check.
15.
15? Okay. You manage to, or as you look back at him, you see him very subtly glance over at you. And upon seeing you watching him, he turns and gives you a wink. And you see his face stretch into a grin. And he continues playing the piano, like uninterrupted.
I guess I will meet your cousin. When will he come down from his balcony?
He should be down here soon enough. Until then, feel free to mingle. And the Duke sort of, gives you a nod and as if to say, like, you're good, go about your business. So you mingle at the party a little while longer. It doesn't take long before Henrik Vladi himself comes down. It's a little too big. And you stand out pretty easily. And he said, looking at your clothing, he says, you must be the new hire. I believe the Duke had ordered some Outlanders, is that right? To
He did
handle our
not
situation
order
with the
us.
fasteners.
He did not order us. We just agreed to help him.
Yes, my mistake. He formed a contract with you. I would know, I'm a businessman and contracts are my life. He says, what do you think of all this?
This is too much. I prefer a campfire and meat on the spit.
What is it about those things that you like?
The atmosphere. Everybody here seems uptight, more concerned about their pockets than their personalities around them.
So, the money doesn't matter to you then? You're more a man that enjoys, say, freedom.
Freedom
Perhaps
and
the power to
good
choose
sport.
the way you live.
So I heard you're accomplices with these men here, especially the one playing the piano. So I've heard it called.
Yes, Mr. Dag over there. He's one of my very best associates. And quite an influential member of the shipping industry, as I take it. Why do you ask?
Just, I'd never seen such a group of people here before.
Yes, well, these people aren't here by accident. They've worked quite hard to become the people that they are. What? He's gonna roll insight on you. Let me see real quick. Roll me a deception check. Nope, don't bother. He got a nat 20.
Oh, Jesus
He's
Christ.
sizing you up. He can tell you're not comfortable here. What do you think of the Duke?
I think that his care and love for his people is not genuine. I've spent my whole life in the village, and I have seen what compassion is between men. He is not like that.
He gives you a long, hard look. And then says, "May I speak to you in private for a moment?"
What is the difference
You're
in
gonna
private
fucking
and out?
die.
You're in the middle of a dinner party right now. That's the difference. You're surrounded by people.
We can take a step off, but I'd rather not speak in private. I don't understand what you would have to say in private different than out here.
Yes. But I do. Come with me. And he leads you,
Okay, he just drags my ass out.
yeah,
Alright.
he leads you back into the Duke's Hall. Well, you guys are standing at the doorway. It's not like it's a great step, and you just said you'd take a step out with him. Except this time the Duke is kind of chilling off at the party. So he's not really there. And Trawlus, you and Avena are not there either. Avena would have left with you. So, Torvald, you are kind of off to the side over here, as is the Duke. And the Duke says,
Wait, Duke or Treasurer?
or I'm sorry, the Treasurer. And the Treasurer says, "Look, my brother has lived a pampered life. His perspective is perhaps a bit disconnected, but mine isn't. I know very well what's going on in Port Hilton, but I'm willing to do whatever it takes to turn my home into the place it could be, as is the rest of the merchant union here." And he says, "As I understand it, you are investigating these fasteners. I would like for you to report to me as well, but do so privately. I feel that while my cousin is, well, benign, his faith in the city guard is somewhat misplaced. Well, you know how these things are. Family.
Yeah.
That being said, I would like to make an actual change in this city, and the knowledge that you're seeking could be of great value to me. If you would do this for me, I'll repay you handsomely, but you must keep it secret."
Why do you want to betray your cousin?
Betray him? I don't want to betray him. But I want to make sure that things get done. These fasteners, these rebels, well, they're everywhere. You, we know we can trust. A, because you're outsiders. B, because you're capable. But perhaps most importantly, C, yesterday we received word that there was a tussle at a tavern involving yourselves, and you removed one of these fasteners with a sign attached to him. Is that the case?
Yes, that is correct.
Well, it's either a ploy in which they killed 5 of their own men, or you're trustworthy. At least as far as your allegiance to the Fasteners is concerned.
I will say this. I wouldn't have defended those merchants if those fasteners hadn't attacked them first. Those merchants were unarmed. It was not right for them to come in and just slay these men right before my eyes.
Very well. I don't think senseless slaughter is...
If the merchants had attacked first, I would have killed the merchants.
a fair point. But as you said, they didn't. They were unarmed. And you stood up for them. I can admire that. So yes, I believe you guys probably are safe choices as far as not being allied with the Fasteners. However, looking the way that you do, and he sort of looks at you, you'll need to be careful. You haven't made it much of a secret that you're no friends to the Fasteners. So I would perhaps try and disguise yourself if at all possible. And as far as your friend here, looking over at Rorqual, maybe just keep him around at night. He's awfully dark. Perhaps they won't see him. But watch yourselves out there. And like I said, if it's of any consideration to you, you can find me here at the hall. Or I'm sorry, here at the Duke's Keep.
Okay.
He gives you a nod and he says, "Very well then. You're welcome to go back to the party if you like. That's where I'm headed." And he steps back through the door. Alright, what do you want to do?
So, he doesn't trust his brother to handle the situation. He wants me to report to him instead. Activity with the Fasteners. In order to do all this, I need to fucking go into disguise. It's gonna be tough. With my charisma of that. I better tell trolls.
Alrighty. So, are you going back to...
Yeah, going back to where Trolls is.
Okay, so you find Trawless standing outside, kind of just off in the patio, out in the grass waiting for you, and then when you come, the two of you guys leave and step outside the gate again.
I'm right here.
Ah, yes.
By the
Gotcha.
number 2.
There you go. That's where you guys are now. Okay, so you step outside, kind of step off with Trawless so that you guys aren't standing side by side with the city guards, and you tell them this.
Yeah, tell him about, like, basically everything that the cousin told me, the treasurer.
And we trust this treasurer?
He made some very good points, but it doesn't help to report it. I mean, it helps to report to them both, I guess. Maybe that way we can figure out which one of them is actually genuine with what he wants.
Keep in mind, he didn't tell you not to report to his brother, but he did ask you to keep your arrangement with him a secret.
Oh, okay.
Like,
Not
that you couldn't tell Trawless. I'm just like, he doesn't want the Duke to know that you're reporting to him as well.
Perhaps we can get gold from both the Duke and his cousin.
Suppose it is possible.
It is possible. Alright, from here it is up to you guys to figure out how you're going to infiltrate this group.
Let's see, what did they... So they just dressed like in chainmail or something, or just like...
It was just simple leather armor, yeah. You didn't really get a good look at it. You guys kind of went off and did your own thing while they cleaned up the bodies.
I guess I'll go get some simple leather armor for myself.
Okay. Alright. Let me see. So you go and you buy some simple leather armor. Let's see how much that runs. Meanwhile, Trollis, you're free to do whatever it is you want to do.
Kind of want to be bait.
You want to be bait?
Yeah, well, I mean, if we've already made a name for ourselves, wouldn't that be easiest to have them come to us?
Aren't you trying to infiltrate them?
We gotta find out who they are first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, how would we go about doing that?
Just hanging out in the city.
I guess let's go to the least safest place in this whole fucker, the tits of Uptown.
Alright.
So forget about the leather armor. I'm not gonna buy it right now.
Okay. So for now, all of you guys head on up to the tits of Uptown. There you go. Okie dokie. So you guys are in the tits of Uptown. Still maybe like middle afternoon. This is clearly a seedier part of town. It's not too bad yet. There are some women kind of calling out from the Fox's Den over there. You know, the bars aren't quite open yet. There's a couple restaurants going, but it's not too bad here yet. Are you looking for anything in particular?
I'm gonna tell Rorkwall to stay behind and watch over Eodon. I'm gonna take a step into the gambler's den.
Okay. Take a step into the gambler's den. It's mostly empty. There's a couple dice games going.
Do I see that guy?
You don't see the guy anywhere in here. You wager he's likely at the party that you just left.
Okay. So what's over here? Like,
There's a few more shops, a couple of bars, if you're looking for anything in particular.
we just go into one of the bars.
Okay. You look up at the sign as you walk in, and the sign says the Salty Spittoon.
Oh boy. What's SpongeBob now?
So you step into the Salty Spittoon. There's, as you do, a couple like rough-looking sailors kind of look up at you and kind of give you a once-over. And then
Got
just
a
go
bowl
back,
of nails.
Go back to eating their
Nope.
food, drinking their grog.
I take interest in the grog. Like, I want to sit and I want some of that grog.
Take interest in that? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know enough that if you wanted whatever it was that they were drinking, you could probably just ask the bartender for it.
Yeah. I asked the bartender for a pint of grog.
Pint of grog. And he kind of eyes you for a second. He says, "You don't look like a sailor to me."
It doesn't matter what I am. I think I am tough enough for a pint of grog.
Fair enough. And he takes there's like a bunch of like nice glass bottles, right? And he's kind of like reaching along. You see his hand pass up a few, and then it goes down and it grabs a wooden mug, and he walks over to a barrel and just like thrusts the mug in into like just this like sloggy barrel, and it kind of like splashes on either side. He puts the lid back on, and he comes back over to you and like sets it on the bar, and he's like, "Oh, there you go. mug of grog. Like, that'll be a silver.
Okay, I give him a silver.
Okay, cool. Alright. So he's kind of like glancing you over with his. He's got one of those sailor eyes where like one's real big and the other's kind of small, and he's like, you know, looking at you. He's like, brings you to this part of town.
I'm waiting for a friend.
A friend, eh? And he kind of glances through the window at the fox's den. He's like, I think I'm waiting for a friend too.
Like, I don't know what he's
He
talking
just
about.
goes over here. So you just
Oh
quietly
my-
sit there, and he kind of like looks back at you, and he's like,
My guy doesn't know what the concept of the Fox's Den is, so he just kind of just.
He doesn't know what a brothel is?
No,
"No,
dude.
They don't have anything like that in Scotty.
Are you kidding me? A fucking like nomadic fishing village.
I guess that's true.
Yeah, you might. I don't know. It's up to you whether you know or not.
Like everybody's a family in that, so doubt it.
And he's like, well, you don't seem to be from around here. And he looks over at Rorqual. You can see he's not too worried about it, because it's just like, this part of town's so gnarly anyways, he doesn't give a fuck if an animal comes in here. It's like, alright, well, you boys need anything else, you let me know.
I give him a slight nod and go sit down at a table and enjoy the grog.
You taste the grog. It's, as soon as you taste it, you like kind of cough and a little bit comes out of your nose. It is rough stuff. It does not taste pleasant really in any kind of way. It's got a powerful saltiness to it, and it's like a really harsh. It's like tasting. It's like getting a whole mouthful of hard liquor when you've never had it before. You know.
Yeah.
You've had various ales, but this isn't like that. This is pretty unpleasant to you.
I'm like, holy shit.
And then you take another swig, and you're like, you know what? Maybe it's not so bad. It's not the best tasting thing in the world. You gonna keep drinking?
I offer Rorqual a sip.
He kind of like smells it, and he sticks a finger in it, you know, kind of like tilting the cup his way, and you see his lips kind of working as he like slurps off the side, and he just like spits it out on the floor. And he's like, and he's like opening his mouth and like letting the fumes out, and you can see he doesn't seem to like it very much.
Yeah, I just keep drinking it.
You take another sip, you know, this stuff really isn't so bad. He did give you a mug of it. As you finish your mug of hard liquor and salt water, go ahead and make me a Constitution save.
Yes, sir. That is going to be a 60.
A 16, alright. Got a nice buzz going. About as much as a giant man would feel off of half a mug of hard liquor. But you're still doing okay, sitting in a pretty rough part of town, drinking a mug of grog. Trollis, what are you up to?
Probably just gonna be hanging out by the door,
Okay.
just on the inside, waiting for somebody to come in.
Okay, so you're still kind of like uncomfortably sitting over by the door.
Yeah.
Torvald, you would probably know how Trollis feels. You recognize this behavior. This is like antisocial. You can see he's visibly uncomfortable being in this city.
I get up and walk up to him. I'm like, I know you want to leave. After we finish this deal with the Duke, we can get out. And never come back here.
Yeah, there's too many people to keep count of.
To each its own. I just want my pay, and then we can leave.
Yeah. So both of you are Torvald, you're pretty aware with like this this being uncomfortable around people feeling, but you're just like, yeah, this is our job, let's just make some quick cash and get the hell out of this place. You finish off your mug of grog. Vena's still just kind of hanging out with you guys wordlessly. She's just taking a following y'all around because there's nowhere else for her orphan ass to be. So, what you doing here? Keep drinking? Are you looking for anything particular in this bar?
Look around to see if there's anything that catches my eye immediately, like suspicious behavior or anything.
Well, suspicious behavior.
You mean everyone in the
worst
bar?
part of town. It's like,
Yeah.
you see a lot of things that are suspicious. It's not the busiest time yet, but there's an awful lot of seedy people around here. And you are catching an awful lot of eyes now that you're like looking around. People have been like watching these rather strange folk. Pretty much as they have headed all around town.
What time of day is it?
It's like maybe 5-ish. Sun will be going down in like a couple hours, maybe hour or so. You have time for a short rest if you guys want to just burn some time that way.
Yeah, let's take a short rest.
Okay. So you burn a short rest at the Salty Spittoon. Are you just gonna be drinking?
No.
Keeping an eye out?
I'm just gonna keep an eye out, not drink.
Okay, you're keeping an eye out. What are you looking for?
Just anybody who comes in, or like anyone who seems to be fixated on us, or anything like that.
Okay. You see a lot of groups come in, you know, like a group of friends. You see sailors start to come in. After a little while, they all start coming in droves, and you see that uptown's starting to pick up a little bit as it gets a little later. You spot some unusual people coming in. You spot hunters. You spot a couple merchant sailors. You spot various farmers and travelers from the road, that sort of thing. All come in here to basically just have a good time and cut loose. Ian, this would be, and I told him this last time, this area is like the equivalent of like Bourbon Street or 6th Street.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
So you do spot a lot of sketchy looking people coming in. There are games starting to pick up, gambling, cards. People are beginning to get drunk as the evening goes on. The Fox's Den starts to get a little busier. You see there are more ladies calling out and lots of people walking in and out of it.
I decided to walk out of the bar.
Okay. You walk into the busy street. The sun is starting to go down at this point. The smells of food and fish and ocean fill your nostrils, and smoke and steam starts to fill the air as the local stalls get to cooking and working, and you hear voices calling out, you know, to buy this or that or place bets, this sort of thing. There's a couple of random fights in the street.
I break away from Rookfall and Eodon and take a peek in the Gambler's Den.
Okay, so you take a peek in the Gambler's Den, and you look around. Make me a perception check.
18.
18. All right. You don't see the shifty fellow in here from before, but you do see a pair of eyes looking at you.
All right.
It's you catch it kind of low. It's almost like you're spotting a pair of eyes looking at you through the leaves or something. But someone is kind of very subtly gazing at you from across the bar.
I walk in normally. Yes.
Okay.
At the bar.
Alright, so you walk in normally, and the figure kind of turns away from you and is kind of facing the wall as they're drinking their drink.
I get a drink from the bartender, and then I go sit down right across from them. Or like right at the table, their table, but like across
Okay.
the table.
At this point, the figure looks back at you, and you see none other than. Give me 1 second. I'll leave you. There you are. None other than your favorite street rat kid.
Oh my god.
Sitting across from you
Oh fucking
at a
shit.
table, drinking a mug of beer. He says, well, this is awkward.
What are you doing here? This is no place for kids.
I like this place.
Typical of a street rat to say something like that.
Hey, don't talk down to me.
You dedicated your life to thieving. Why haven't you thought of anything else? You could be a great hunter. I've seen you work before. You almost took money from me.
Well, I'm not strong enough to be a hunter. Like,
Oh,
you can
God.
see,
Little girl
you can
outside.
See this is like a frail little kid, you know.
Yeah.
Please don't fucking pick up another child, orphan.
I'm not. There's a little girl out there who hunts.
Well, good for her.
That's no excuse for you not to.
Who
thieving
are you
is
to come in
cowardly.
here and lecture me?
I want to know who's letting you out.
Nobody's letting me out. I get out on my own.
There's something you're not telling me. I'm gonna roll an insight on him.
Okay, go ahead.
13.
Shit. Alright. This kid is... He is getting out on his own. But there's definitely something he's not telling you.
Do you know anything about the fasteners?
He starts like shifting uncomfortably. He's like, I've heard of them. Everybody's heard of them. It's like, what do you want with them?
I want to know why they're doing what they're doing, and I want to know how I can contact them, how I can contact their leaders.
What do you mean you want to know why they're doing what you're doing? It's like,
What
have
they're
you even
doing.
gone to the south side of town?
I was in a tavern, and they attacked a group of unarmed merchants. I made an example of them, but I want to know who they're working with, and what their goal is here.
This kid is like, look, mister, if that's the kind of information you want, you probably don't want to be asking people around here. It's like, I personally don't know that much about the Fasteners, but I do know that there's a particular bar that sometimes they like to hang out in. Other than that, I couldn't tell you anything. It's like, well, look, are you here to beat me up or anything?
No.
And so you see like the relief on his face.
But I do not want to see you stealing from anybody. If I catch you again, I'm going to cut your hand off. And obviously it's a No bluff, but only if
Okay.
you can call it.
Okay, go ahead and roll intimidation.
14.
14. You're kind of looming over this kid, and he looks intimidated. He's just like, like grimacing away from you. He's like, alright, you got it.
And I give him 50 gold.
He's like, wow! You see his eyes like get all cracked out, and he's like, he's never seen that much money. He's like, what is this for?
I want you to pick yourself up, build a life for yourself. You can't be a street urchin forever.
And he kind of looks at you with a side eye. He's gonna make an insight check. Well, he's making an insight check to see if you're like being for real with him, or if this is some kind of setup.
I asked him, what?
Are you?
Well, I'm at. Wait, what?
Go ahead.
Well, like, I want to ask him about the guy too, if he's seen that, like, if he hangs out this bar regularly.
And then he sort of looks at you for a minute, and then he looks back at the gold and puts the gold in his pocket. And he says, "Are you asking about the figure in the corner?
Yeah.
Do you remember what his name is?"
Oh. I forgot that fucker's name. Shalyar.
What do you tell him?
Hold on. Let me try to remember that motherfucker's name. Shit. Fuck, I forgot his name.
Can you describe him?
Yeah, sure. Has sandy brown hair, kind of short, wears leather with a hide trench coat, has a satchel, and he's in here and he makes only the big bets. He also wins them
as soon
all.
as you say only the big bets, you see the kid's face light up, and he's like, you must be talking about Dag.
Dag, yes.
He was like, yeah, Dag's kind of a popular patron here at this particular den. Likes to drink a lot, and he makes big bets, and luck's usually on his side.
What if I told you he works for the merchants?
You see him stiffen up immediately, and this kid says, yeah, does he?
Yes.
How do you know that?
I spoke to the Duke, and it's confirmed that he works with the merchants.
Oh, really? You seen him?
Why else would he hang out with the Duke?
He hangs out with the Duke, does he? Do you know who else works for the Merchants Union?
I don't remember them by name, but I've seen a few of them. Two of them look like dwarves, and one of them looks like a great bearded man, taller than most of them. He's a treasurer.
The treasurer. Yes, everybody knows the treasurer. Einhard Vlavi, I guess, if you're one of the nobles. So...
And then a woman with a large crossbow and two men with beards with no hair. They look almost like twins.
Beards, no hair. That could be anybody. A large crossbow.
I'm not telling them that I actually was introduced to these people formally. I'm just telling them like what they look like to kind of like get that image up there.
Roll me a deception check.
Fucking nat 20.
Nat 20. Okay. He doesn't
I have
know
no
that
modifier.
you formally met this people, but he definitely knows that you seem to know who the members of the Merchant Union are. And so he says, well, dwarves, like in the stories, what does a dwarf look like, really?
The dwarf, from what I've been told, is a short man with a beard. I've only heard of them in legends, but
So-
these men definitely fit that description.
So two members of the Merchant Union are short men with beards?
Yes, one was. I was told one was a blacksmith.
A blacksmith. You
Like the
see-
blacksmith guild.
You see him thinking pretty furiously. It's like, I see. So there's a blacksmith, and a woman with a large crossbow, two bearded men that look like dwarves, Dag, and who else?
Two twins.
Two
With
twins.
similar beard. I don't know what they do. I just know
see.
they look the same.
And he says, I'll be right back. And he stands up abruptly and starts walking at a brisk pace towards the door. And goes right on out.
I follow him as he goes out.
Yeah, as he starts walking this way,
Well, yeah, same here. Sorry, I was typing.
was Rorqual in the bar with you?
No, I left him outside with Avina.
Left him outside with Avina?
Yeah.
And Trollis, where are you?
I was just outside the door.
You were just outside the door over here?
Yep.
Uh,
I assume I would recognize him as soon as he came out.
Were you making any attempt to, like, be subtle, or were you just standing there by the door?
I'll guess I'll be kind of subtle.
Okay.
Try. Heck, why not?
Make
16
16.
stealth.
Yeah, so this kid just briskly walks out the door as he's going past you. Make a perception check to recognize him.
Wait, me?
No, me.
No,
Hold on.
Trollis.
Okay.
18.
18. Okay, you recognize him. So this kid heads out this way, and he's headed at a pretty brisk pace. You see him go up, and he jumps into the crowd up here. Make me another perception check if you're following him.
22.
22. Okay. You see him slip into the crowd, and he's moving this way down the street.
Right.
And he walks past the Salty Spittoon, down the street this way, into a bar, a rather large building here. He steps inside. You look at the sign, and you see that this bar is called the Squid's Eye. Torvald, I take it you're headed out as well?
Yeah, I'm following trolls.
Okay. I mean, Rorqual are gonna come this way. Okay. So Trollis is kind of standing down the road a little bit, but you see him peering at a building in the middle of the way down there when you catch up to him.
Your
Right.
little friend went in here.
Which one? Which building? I missed it.
Squid's Eye. Down here.
Squid's Eye. Alright, so let's just, I'm gonna leave Avina and Rourke outside. And then, I guess I'm gonna roll a stealth and like try and slip in without him or anybody else seeing me.
Okay.
Is it like a lot of people like waiting in line or something, or like what does it look like? Like, can I just like slip in
I mean, you're
sort
dressed
of?
like a pretty typical hunter. Aren't you wearing like hide armor or something like that?
Yeah, I'm
Typical
still wearing
hide
that.
armor, but not like atypical hide armor like Charles.
Yeah.
So you rolled what to sneakily step inside?
Let's see. Hold on, that's my sleep mod. Or stealth mod. That's gonna be a 19.
19. Okay, cool. So you sort of step inside. Do you have a hood? You don't have any kind of headwear, do you?
No.
So you just sort of step in with the crowd, and you've got your head down. But
Yeah.
as I recall, you're a fairly large guy. And so you step in, and you look around the room. Make me a perception check.
Okay. Damn dice. That's gonna be garbage. Let's see. 12.
12?
Yeah.
Okay. There's a lot of people in this particular bar. Off in one corner, you see a group kind of merrily laughing and drinking and telling stories, and you look over another way, and you know, there's various people talking and chatting. There's a lot of smoke in this bar, and you look to your left, and there's a kid talking to an older guy, and he's wearing that same green cloak that this kid was wearing. And you see him. He's
Am I
just
close
kind
enough to eavesdrop? Or is there any way I can
Not
eavesdrop?
really. This kid is just kind of like whispering into this guy's ear, and this man's listening with a very serious expression on his face.
Alright, I'm gonna try to sit in a corner out of sight
Okay.
and just watch them.
You watch them, and the kid whispers into this guy's ear, and the guy asks the kid a few questions. You can't quite make out what they're saying. And you see the kid nodding and speaking back pretty excitedly. And then the guy slips a few coins over to the kid, and the kid takes the coins, pockets them, and heads out the door. Trollis, are you standing right outside the door, or are you still up the way?
No, I'm standing right outside the door.
Okay, this kid comes out and sees you standing right there in your armor
Yeah, I'm grabbing him.
and goes white. Make me... Actually, this kid is technically small, I believe, because of your feet. You are large, right?
Yep.
You
Yep.
automatically grapple him.
Alright, I'm just gonna hold him like under my arm and be like, we're gonna be best of friends, I'm sure.
You pick the kid up, and he says, let me go.
No.
Alright, Torvald, you did see this kid attempt to leave, and he turned the corner around the door before disappearing from view.
I keep watching the old man.
Okay. The old man, he's you see him thinking pretty hard about this news he just heard, and he pulls out a piece of paper and begins to write on that paper. And he folds it up and walks across the room to a woman who's just kind of quietly enjoying her drink, and he gives the paper to her and sort of whispers in her ear, and you see her stand, and she starts to head out the door.
I follow her.
Alright. She goes out the door, and you follow her, and as you guys step out, you see her looking at something, and following her gaze, you see Trollis holding a child
Oh,
off
shit.
the ground.
I don't say anything. Like, I just kind of step off to the side and gauge the situation.
Okay. Make me a perception check.
12.
12? Okay.
Mhm.
You look back and the woman is gone, and looking around, you see she has head off at a fairly quick pace, like kind of speed walking, down this way, past the kid and past Trollis that way.
I start speed walking and I motion to Trollis as I'm walking by. Like, come on. And I motion to Evina and Rorkwall too.
Okay.
But,
Alright.
fuck. I don't know, like, if Trollis lets a kid go, our cover's fucking blown, too much.
You better come up with a
I-
decision quickly.
I tell Trollis to, like, take the kid with us,
Yeah.
since
He
he's
wasn't
already,
there.
like, restrained him.
Okay. And you're calling along Rorkwall and Evana as well?
Yeah.
Okay. You guys pursue this lady, and she's gonna make a perception check. See if she's being followed by you guys. You guys aren't. Are y'all making any attempt to be stealthy?
Am I still in stealth or
other
no?
than standing a few feet back?
Sure.
Farther back, but yeah.
Torvald, actually, Trollis, you are not even remotely stealthy. Given your situation and your appearance. Torvald, you're moving independently of Rorkwall. You look pretty normal, and they didn't see you as they were leaving the bar. So, I guess it depends. Is Trollis following you closely?
No.
I'm power walking as fast as she is,
You're
almost.
power walking, okay. As
I just,
long
like,
as
motion.
you're far enough away, Trollis, Torvald, you can probably blend in. She doesn't know to look for anything like you, but she's certainly suspicious of Trollis at this point. So you follow her, and she is moving back this way, and you guys all follow her to. To a fish vendor down here.
Squid's eye is moving with us.
Squid's eye better
It's-
not. Oh yeah, it is. Shit.
Shit.
Get that out of here. Squid's eye. There we go. Cool. So, hang on one sec. Excuse me.
Listen.
Okay. So you guys make it down here to the bar. Or not to the bar, to the fish market. Torvald, you have been here before. Trollis, you have never seen this many fish in your entire life. This place is massive. It's crawling with
Business
people. Even at
is
night,
booming.
there's a lot of busy stalls selling various cooked seafood, this and that. And the woman you guys are tracking comes to a particular exotic, like a foreigner who is selling fish here, and she sort of speaks to him for a moment and gives him a paper. And then
Alright.
leaves.
Alright, so I just, like, step back into the shadows and wait for her to pass by and go off.
Okay.
And what's the person at the stall doing? They're just tending to the...
Yep, the
Their
person at
product.
the stall just goes back to calling out, trying to sell fish or cooked fish.
I step over to Trolls and I say, "You need to restrain the street rat, and I need to get that note from that woman at the stall. I need your
Right.
help."
I'm just gonna grab some rope out of my pack and just tie the kid up and make him a backpack. and gag him.
Just put him like behind a tree or bush or something.
No, I'm gonna strap him to my back
Wait,
like
that'll,
a backpack.
So let me get
that'll
this straight.
definitely fucking throw her off. Though. Like she's gonna be like, "Why do you have a kid on your back?"
So Trollus
She'll
is
recognize him.
wearing moose antlers, dire bear armor, owl bear shoulder pauldrons with I think you've got mountain gator on you somewhere. You have a squabbling gagged child strapped to your back like a backpack, and you're traveling with a gorilla.
Yep.
Alright. You have triple disadvantage on all future stealth checks as long as you have this kid on your back. Because this kid is drawing a lot of attention. It's a very strange sight.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe you should stash that kid behind a tree or bush, and we will come back for him later.
Right, because you know he's not gonna get away like he gets away from the guards.
That's why we'll have Avina and Rorkval guard him. And Rorkval, if he sees in the escape attempt, he will make sure it doesn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
Avina,
Alright.
you too.
Whatever, I'll stash him on a tree then. Fuck it.
Tie him to the tree.
Yep.
There is a gate
then-
over here with a couple trees near it.
Yep.
Alright, let's just tie the kid
tie
to the
the
gate.
poor fucking kid to the tree.
And then have Avina and Rorkval guard him.
You find a tree branch near the top, and you tie him up because you obviously can't put him like right near the bottom. Anybody would see him. So
Right.
you find a tree branch kind of up there where they can't quite see him, and you tie a gagged kid to the tree, and climb back down the tree and instruct Avina and Rorkball to watch over this kid.
Could be worse.
Could be worse. Back to normal stealth rolls for you.
Yay.
Okay. So, what do you want to do?
Alright,
That girl has pretty much left at this point.
Yeah, well, so wait, we're with the woman at the stall.
The foreign fish market, or the foreign fishmonger is over here.
Alright, so where did the foreign fishmonger put the note?
He just put it in his pocket.
Alright, so Charles, what I want you to do, I want you to pretend to buy some fish. I'm going to go up behind them and try and get that note from them. And I just like step off out of sight.
Okay.
I like this plan. Do you have any other ideas, Charles?
Nope.
You just gonna go with it?
Sure.
Just say you want 5 adult mackerel.
Holy shit.
They will know. They will know.
Okay. I'm gonna step up to the guy.
No.
And then I just kind of shimmy along the edge behind. Does the guy see me? Am I still in stealth, or I need to roll it again?
He's kind
Pretty
of
sh-
standing like on this corner over here, but he's just looking out this way, really, just calling out. He's at
Pretty
the
sure
dock
as
behind
soon as I fucking step up, I'd have his full attention.
him. Yeah, as soon as you come into view, you have his full attention. He's just like, "You, sir, would you care for some fish?"
Yes. I would like some 5 adult mackerel.
And he kind of cocks an eyebrow and he's like, 5 mackerel. Excellent. Where's your cart, sir?
I don't have one.
While he's doing this, I'm gonna attempt to pickpocket this guy.
Let me just double check and see how big a mackerel is.
It's gonna take him a while to fucking get those like wrapped up and ready to go. So I'm gonna roll a pickpocket.
Okay.
Or roll sleight of hand.
Roll sleight of hand.
Please, please, please. Do I have a modifier for that? Yes, I do. 17.
You do? Wow. A 17? Okay.
Well, the modifier is +3. I forgot it was dex based and not like. Well, actually, it has to be dex based. Never mind.
These are Spanish mackerel. things actually get pretty massive. Yeah, they get up to like 5 feet across.
Yeah.
So he's like preparing these fish for you. Like wrapping them. He has no idea where he's going to be putting this yet, but he's just like, whatever. I'm just gonna. This is
Just
what
gonna
this
like
guy's
hold
paying
my
for.
arms out like fucking trays.
It's like, okay, you're a pretty big dude. So yeah, as he's wrapping this up, you go and you slip your hand in his pocket. Let me see. You got a 17?
Yeah.
All right, he does not notice. You feel the paper in his pocket, in addition to a couple other loose items.
Alright, I read the paper while he's still like trying to dole this fish out.
Okay, so you pull it out of his pocket, and I assume you like step back to somewhere you can like safely read this.
Yeah. Yeah.
In the paper, you see it's a letter from a man named Almon, Almon, to another person named Egil. And the letter contains information accusing Sealer Dag of being a member of the Merchants Union, and has included reports describing the other members of the Merchant Union. And he does note that the information came from a questionable source, but that the issue regarding Dag should be looked into immediately.
Alright. I've quickly folded the letter back up the way I found it, and I try to dispense it back in the guy's pocket without him knowing.
Oh my god.
Why?
You're gonna put it back in his pocket?
Yeah, I don't want him to know that he, like, it's out. Like, I want them to know there's nothing, like...
You could just get rid of it.
I guess,
but I
but
mean, I'm not
that
gonna
just,
stop
like...
you if that's really what you want to do. Go ahead and roll another sleight of hand check if you want to put it back in his pocket.
15.
15? Okay, so that just barely makes it. It was a DC 15. Alright, so you managed to sneakily put that back in his pocket, and right as Trawless is taking 5 armloads, or an armload of 5 adult mackerel, each one about... Yeah, each one about 7 pounds. So you got it no problem, but they are very big. And it's quite unwieldy. Go ahead and add 5 king mackerel to your inventory. That's gonna cost you 5 gold.
I'll give him 5 gold as a compensation since it was my idea.
Okay. I assume you do this later and not, like, right there.
Yeah. I'll, like, walk up from behind the stall. Hey. Thank you.
Alright. Congratulations. So you now have this piece of paper.
I copied it pretty much. Like, I memorized the text, basically like what it says
Okay.
in my Adobe Acrobat notes page.
Okay. So you now have a copy of this letter, and Trawless has 5 king mackerel. And the man
Alright.
says, "Thank you very much for your business. It's much appreciated, sir. Much appreciated."
I'm just gonna be
I'm
like,
just slowly
uh-huh.
sidestep back.
Trawless grunts out a reply and brusquely turns away.
Alright, I motion for Charles to come back to where Avina and Rourke are.
Okay.
So Trawless, you work your way back. Torvald, when you return, you are greeted by the sight of a gorilla holding a green cloaked little kid. And Avina was like, he tried to get away. We got him.
I turned to Charles. What shall we do with him? I didn't really want to confront this kid the second time. Now he's going to tell them.
I mean, you were the one that told him all the information.
Do the hard thing.
You could kill him.
It's up to you guys.
It's a pretty fucking like evil thing to do, though. Like,
well, I mean, there's
He is
Is
he
it?
is an urchin thief.
Would
If you
your
drag him
character
into
think this is an evil thing to do?
Yeah, he would. Because it's just like this. We were done with this kid. Like, I told him, like, I basically planted info on him to gain trust, and then like we basically just like, fuck you. Like, we had no reason to drag him here. God damn. If we let him go, he's gonna tell. Unless
Charles, you were the one that snatched up this kid. What do you want to do with him?
you give him your mackerel. Maybe
Your
that
mackerel.
bribe
why?
Carry
starve
this.
him good. I don't know.
Turn him into a pack mule. For
Just
Max.
give him the fish for like payment, like keeping quiet. I don't know.
Except for he's obviously not gonna keep quiet.
Yeah.
You guys are like having this conversation in front of him, and you see his eyes like kind of darting between you two.
I wonder if he can write.
Hey boy, can you write?
Yeah.
Damn.
Alright, what do you want him to write? Oh,
No, I was debating whether I wanted to cut his tongue out or cut his hands off.
why not both?
Unfortunately, that's kind of what it looks like.
Might as well just kill him at that point. Maybe that'll keep him quiet. And I look at him
You see
while
the
I'm saying
blood,
that.
the blood just drain out of his face, and his eyes are like white.
Is that what you want, boy? There's plenty of farmland there.
And he like shakes his head no, and you see his eyes beginning to well up with tears.
Well, you're the one who put too much faith in him.
Alright,
mean,
I
to be
guess I
fair,
will
you're the
do
one
it
who
then.
grabbed him, too.
So I
Yeah,
grab the
'cause
boy.
He was being a problem.
I grab the boy and I say, you guys wait here. And then I bring him out to the farmlands.
Alright, hang on 1 second.
Oh my god.
Select. Let's go to the farmlands. Bring him out back to here. We'll say you bring him back to the woods over here.
I'm just like, the whole time, like once you get to the farmlands, I'm like, I want you to walk 5 feet in front of me. Do not turn back.
Alright, he obeys. He's quite terrified.
Is there like a cliff or something?
Let's see. Yeah, there's some cliffs over here. I mean,
Alright,
they're
so-
not the hugest drop. They're just like maybe 17 feet each way.
Okay.
You want to bring him there?
Yeah.
Okay. So, out in the woods over here, you find a small place about here where you're secluded and at the edge of the cliffs.
Alright, I command him to start digging.
Okay.
God.
So he takes his bare hands and he's kind of like scratching at the ground. Just a little. You just have him dig until there's like a grave dug.
Yeah.
Okay, so about 3 hours go by, and His hands are raw and bleeding, but the hole is complete. He's got his back to you. He's still just digging the hole and quietly weeping to himself.
I tell him to stand in it.
Oh my god.
He stands in the hole, like cringing, like with his eyes shut.
I raise my weapon, my spear,
Okay.
and then I just jam it in the ground beside him. And I say, like, I want to fucking intimidate him, like right here.
Go
It's
ahead
like-
and intimidate him.
Oh shit. 10.
10.
I assume you'd have advantage on this, but that's just
Yeah,
me.
sure. Go ahead.
Okay. That's a lot better. 18.
18. Okay.
And I say, this hole is meant for you. I understand that you were dragged into this situation, but I don't want you to tell anybody about what happened. About our confrontation, about talking to me. You will be as silent as this grave.
And he says, "Yeah, I won't tell anyone." You can see he's
I will find you.
very afraid of you.
I will find you. Just keep that in mind. I am good at finding things.
He says, "If you let
And
me
I
live,
tell him,
if you let me live, I promise. Your secret's safe with me."
go. Get out. Get out of my sight.
He scampers the fuck out of there. And he's gone.
Let's go back. Let's go back. I go back to
Alright.
work.
Okay. No more scene there. Trawless. I assume you guys weren't waiting with a bunch of mackerel the whole time, so everybody, would y'all have just gone back to the inn?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're back at the inn. And you guys all meet up together. Come back inside. Torvald, what's the look on your face like when you walk back in the inn and see your friends?
I just like kind of smirk and just sit down next to them.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and move you all back inside. Okay, so we'll say you guys have a table here. Alright. So you guys now have a pretty interesting situation going. Based on your choices. So y'all sit down for the evening, and what?
And I tell Trolls, I spared him. I tried to put as much scare in them as possible. I couldn't bring it to myself to put a spear through his body. I don't think that he'll be telling anyone anything anytime soon.
Sorry, I was just reading a text message from work. Yeah, I figured as much. You weren't the kind that kill an innocent child if you stand up for innocent merchants.
Now we must deal with the current matter. That letter was addressed from Alman, which I assume is the old man that I watched in the tavern give the message to the woman. To Ijo. I don't know who this Ijo character is, but it's a letter accusing that shady man I saw at the banquet earlier. His name is Sealer Dag, the man playing the piano. He is accused of being part of the merchant union. Of course, it's by my own words of what I told the boy. But this could possibly get us in.
Alright.
We need to dress like them. and I will go talk to that almond man to see what else.
Well, did notice one thing. They seem to have those green hoods.
And that's what I will wear. I will wear light leather armor. Unfortunately, Rorqual cannot be by my side when all this happens. I look at Rorqual and I just like give him a brief nod.
He understands your intentions even if you're not able to explain it to him. And you see he's kind of like uneasy as one would be letting one's brother like go into a situation.
Avina will take care of your Rorqual. She will look after you and you will look after her.
And he kind of looks over at Avina and then back up at you. And you see understanding in his eyes even though he doesn't really say anything. Kind of shuffles about a little bit. So, well, I don't know. I'll let you continue with your dialogue.
I tell Trolls that we need to go back. We need to go, or I ask him what he wants to do first off. What do you want to do, Trolls? You want to take the disguise approach, or are you more of a brute force kind of idea?
Well, I am generally brute force, but in a town like this, there are too many people for that. So I say we try and blend in.
Okay, we go to town square tonight, and then we meet up and talk to that old man, see what he knows, dressed in their colors.
Right.
What will your alias name be? My guy doesn't know what alias means. How about like, what will your fake name be?
I mean, they don't know my real name, so should
Okay.
work.
They might know mine. Actually, I'm pretty sure I
No.
introduced you. Oh wait, no.
I don't think you.
We didn't tell the kid.
Dag might know who you are.
Yeah, Dag might recognize our names.
Dag might, but you didn't actually interact with Dag at the party. But he is
Yeah.
definitely associated with your contractor.
Well, is Trolls and Torvald like names that would be amongst those kinds of people?
Yeah,
like
Charles
the
and Torvald
passengers.
are typical names here, yeah.
Okay, well I guess no fake names then. Let's just go get the gear, and Rorqual and Avina will just chill out here.
Okay. So the two of you guys, before the night is out, you head towards the center of town to the marketplace, and then find a stall that just sells some green robes. Actually, hold on. I believe you had discovered a particular clothing store last time. Doo-doo-doo. Where was it? What was it? Oh, Creed's Art Collectibles. Yeah, no clothes then. So you guys find a new clothing store. And you walk on in, there's a lady there and she says, "Yes, hello, how can I help you?"
We were looking for some green cloaks
Some green
to
clothes.
match our leather armor that we bought.
Well, you absolutely came to the right place. We have the finest fabrics in town. Straight from the guilds themselves. Green cloaks, you say. Now, follow me. And she
Alright.
leads you and Trawlus over. And you're looking around, and she finds a pretty large one. You're on the bigger side of average, if I'm not mistaken, Torvald. You guys are about... You're
Mhm.
both like 6'3", 6'4", right?
Yep.
Pretty much.
Yeah, so no, you're a little bigger than average. So she manages to find a pretty large cloak that'll fit you Torvald. But nothing that will cover the antlers, the moose
Oh,
antlers on
no,
top
I'd-
of Charles's head.
I would be taking that shit off.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be taking all that off.
Okay.
Yeah, same. I'll be taking all the furs off.
So, well, Torvald, you've just got normal armor made from furs. A typical cloak could fit there. Trollus
Alright.
doesn't actually have any typical armor. But he is currently unarmored and wearing a green cloak if you'd like.
Yeah. It's fine.
I mean, this is a market. You can certainly find it if you need it.
Probably would get studded leather while I'm here. Should
Okay.
have roughly the same AC.
Yeah, there's stalls all over the place. You'd be able to find studded leather easily enough.
Okay. Let's do that.
So you go ahead and go get some studded leather strapped on, and go ahead and set your armor to studded leather, whatever that AC might be, plus your dex, and subtract. How much is this armor? Studded leather armor. Subtract 45 gold.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Alright, and the cloaks are each just gonna be a gold for both of them. You guys are just getting simple green fabric. Nothing too difficult. Okay, and as you step out, Torvald, for the first time you see Trollus, and although he's just as big as you are, he looks completely normal.
And I'm just like,
He
you
does
look
not
more like a
stand out.
commoner than they do.
And with that, Trollus' size. And with that, you guys head up north to the north part of town. I assume... Actually, I'm not going to assume anything. So you guys are headed to the north part of town, wearing your cloaks, is that right?
Yeah, going back to the salty squid.
Okay.
Or squid's eye.
You walk into the Squid's Eye. Take a look around for me. You go ahead and do a perception check as you're glancing around the room as you walk in.
Oh, shit. Fuck. Got it. Ah. That's 16.
16? Okay. You don't spot the kid anywhere in here. But you do spot the man that you spoke to before sitting at a table.
Alright. I go to the bartender and I grab ourselves a couple of drinks. I give one to Charles. And we sit down at the same table across from this man.
Okay. So, you sit across from this man, or you sit directly across from this man at the table?
Yeah, sit down at his table.
As you... So you walk right up to this man who's talking to like a couple other people.
Oh, he's talking to somebody? I thought
Yeah,
he was alone.
Yeah, no, he's talking to a couple other people.
Okay, well, don't do that. I do, however, ask the bartender to give him and his guests a round of drinks on me. And I'll also at this time give Charles 5 gold for that shitload of mackerel.
For the mackerel. Okay. So, you guys go take a seat at the table. Are you drinking as well?
Yeah.
Okay, so you all sit down at the table. You're grouped together, and the waitress arrives with like a tray full of ales, and you see her talk to the people sitting across from you, and they look over and see you and they glance at you. Both of you make me an insight check.
2.
2?
17.
17. Okay. The people raise their glasses and nod towards you in a friendly manner. And they all continue their drinks for a few minutes more, talking to each other. And the man in charge kind of smiles and dismisses them, kind of waves his hand, and they go off. And he comes over and takes a seat across from you and says, "Well, good evening, gentlemen. I sure appreciate the drink. What can I do for you?"
Yes. I heard that there's work around here that me and my partner can take part in.
Work in a place like this? Well, I'm sure there's work to be had all over town. What kind of work might you be inquiring about?
An uprising.
Make me an insight check.
16.
16. Okay, this man's eyebrows kind of raise slightly, just for a moment. And he says, "An uprising?" He says, "Well, there's only one of those going on around here."
I know what you guys think about the merchants. I want in on it. Those merchants have been off my ass for quite a while.
And why would you want in on something like an uprising? Isn't life around here good? Don't you have an ale in your hands right now? There's women just down the street.
I'm looking for a group called the Fasteners. Have you ever heard of them?
I have. Everyone around here has heard of the Fasteners. And then he sort of like leans on the table and he says, "So I'm gonna ask you again. Don't you have things good enough here?"
No. And by myself, I mean, not everybody has it equal here. I may be drinking ale, but there are those drinking muddy water.
There are indeed. And he
Why
sizes
should
you
only be
up, and he looks over at you, Trawlus. Where are you in the room?
I'm sitting at the table.
Oh, you're sitting right beside him?
Yeah.
Okay, so he looks over at you and he says, "And what about you? Is uprising the sort of work that you're looking for?"
You see, I used to be a hunter. All I know is killing, with respect most of the time. Coming here, the hunting business is not so great. Some of you may know this. So, I like to think of it as hunting a different kind of animal. Totally gonna roll that as deception.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and roll it.
23.
23, okay. Alright. So, he kind of eyes you up a little bit. And he says, "Well. I tell you what. I'll put you in touch with the right people. Maybe they have some work for you, maybe they don't. I can't make any promises for them. But if you manage to pull off whatever work they've got set up for you, you might just earn yourself a way in. Again, that's up to his judgment, not mine. On the far side of town, well, maybe not the far side of town, on the far side of Bayside, there's a fish market. At that particular fish market, near the pier, you'll find a fishmonger who comes from far away. He's the only one there. Seek him out and ask what sort of work you could do for an uprising, and tell him that Arlen sent you.
Alright. Sounds simple enough.
He kind of eyes you and he says, "You boys want to do a shot?"
Sure, why not?
Alright. That's what I like to hear. And he kind of raises his finger, and a waitress comes over and he orders a round of liquor for all of you guys. Roll me Constitution saves.
15.
Rolling pretty low on my real life Constitution saves. 22.
22. Torvald, you're feeling it a little bit. You got a nice buzz going. You're feeling good.
Are you feeling it now, Mr.
And he
Krabs?
says, he takes a shot and goes, well then, boys. Sounds like business has been conducted. Feel free to make contact with the gentleman I referred you to at any good time. And perhaps one day we'll meet again."
Perhaps. And I like smirk.
And
Just nod.
he gives you a nod in return, and
Why would you smirk at him?
I don't know, like confidence maybe?
being sociable, yeah.
Trying
Yeah.
to.
Smiles.
Like my guy's not normal to him, so I'm kind of overdoing it. We'll see.
Forces a smile out. This gentleman nods back at you and goes to talk back with his friends.
Alright, so we get up and leave.
All
Or
right.
I leave. Charles can leave too.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave as well.
So as soon as we get out of the door, I tell Charles, I'm like, I should probably speak to that fishmonger. They have
Yeah.
seen you before.
Right.
So I'll just go alone, I guess. Actually, no. Charles can, like, I guess come with me, but he has to stay out of sight. I got food.
Okay, so you guys make your way down to the fishmonger. Where are you guys?
It's still in the Manticore's tail.
Oh, are y'all still down there? Yeah.
Well, like, we're in it.
Ugh.
Oh, you're still in it. Okay.
Yeah.
Shit, my bad. All right.
Man, I don't know how much longer I got in me.
Oh, okay. Do you want to start the next phase or no? Do you want to call
Probably
it right
not. Yeah, I mean, I've been sick all morning, so I'm running on like 3 hours of sleep.
now? Okay. I'll tell you what, we will do the next thing and stop right as y'all begin the next thing you're supposed to do.
Alright.
So you guys make your way over to the fishmonger up here.
Alright.
Okay. And he is doing his thing. Trawless, I assume you're kind of back a little ways.
Yeah.
So he's just calling out to various people, and Torvald, as you approach, he says, "You, sir, you, would you like any delicious fresh-caught fish, or perhaps something cooked?"
No, but I am looking for work. For an
Uh,
uprising.
you see his face immediately change, and it goes instantly quite serious, and he says, "Keep your voice down." He says, "What kind of uprising? Who are you?"
I am a man of the people. The poor and unfortunate in the city. They have been mistreated for far too long. I want in to this helping of them.
A man of the people, eh? And how do I know that you're somebody I would want to give work to in the first place?
Aran recommended me.
Arlen.
Arlen.
Arlen sent you, did he? Well, and he sort of looks you over. He says, okay. In that case, there is a recent opportunity to prove yourself. We have recently received word that a certain ship has made it to port, and we are very curious about the contents of that ship. He says, I want you to go aboard that ship and find a certain person, and you will know when you found them when you find them. And he gives you the coordinates to the ship over in the industrial shipping part of town. It's just one of these over here. And so he says, if you find the person that we need, or anything else that you think would be valuable for the right cause, bring it back to us and we'll talk about it. But
You
whatever
have
you
a
do,
deal.
I implore you not to get caught. You will most absolutely regret it.
You have a deal.
What did you say your name was again?
My name is Torvald.
Torvald. Okay, Torvald. We'll be seeing you soon, eh?
Aye.
Alright. You guys now know where you need to go next. I will go ahead and put you over here.
Oh, fuck.
Alright.
Fucking Metal Gear music.
Yep, it's a stealth mission. As you guys approach the docks at night, you see various crewmen walking about the pier, and just sort of keeping an eye out on the ships at night. You do find the ship that you need to go to, and it's a massive galleon. It's this one here in the middle. This is the ship that you are looking for. It is crawling with people, and they told you that whatever you do, you need to not get caught. And if y'all want to call it, we can call it right here.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, you sound pretty awful, dude.
Yeah, I was up until like 5 in the morning vomiting,
Yeesh. Well,
and then I went to work, so you know, there's that.
yeah, hope you feel better, man. It's no good.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll call that a session. What'd you guys think?
Good.
It was fun.
Yep, it's definitely. I've railroaded a few things to help move you guys along the plot, but the majority of this is going to be all generating how you go about doing things for yourselves, and you've done an excellent job of doing that so far.
I know I wasn't as engaged as I was normally, but
That's okay,
You have
man.
to
If you're sick,
forgive me.
if you're sick, you're sick. Like, no worries, dude. I'm just glad you weren't like bored or something.
no, I'm just like zoned the fuck out because I'm so tired.
Yeah, I hear you, man. Okay. So what did y'all think? Anything you would like me to change, add? Anything you have in mind that you would like to do? That sort of thing.
Right now I'm
Ugh.
satisfied with how things are going.
Yeah,
Yep.
I thought that went really well.
I agree.
That could have gone really bad though. Like
Yeah.
it
Like
could
you were
have
telling
gone-
the kid all that stuff, and I was just like, oh my god, dude.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to like plant that information in his head, so like, just to like kind of keep us under the spotlight, but get like increasing conflict between groups.
Yeah, it was just like, oh my god.
But
I
then,
didn't plan
of
this.
course, like he got restrained right outside. I'm like deep down, like fuck, he wasn't supposed to like we were clear.
Dude, I thought you were gonna kill him.
I mean, he
I was
definitely
gonna
would.
make
We
sure
were
it
not
was-
clear.
Yeah. Yeah. I was gonna make that really gruesome too.
Like, if I hadn't fucking grabbed him, like, we would have been in so much shit.
Well, like, where would he have gone? Like, he was leaving.
Yeah, probably just tell other people. Or let's say we intercept that message, he's gonna just repeat what he heard.
I gave him gold.
So
Gave him gold.
you gave him gold, and he then turned around and went and told them.
Yeah,
The
like I
gold didn't
wanted
mean
him to. The whole point was that him to like tell him there's someone on the inside working for the merchants, like somebody.
Man, I feel like you just blew his fucking cover.
The kids cover?
No, fucking Drags.
Well, yeah,
Oh, Sealer Dags.
Yeah, Dags.
yeah. I wanted to blow his cover.
That's so fucked.
Yeah. It's gonna be really interesting moving forth. I'm really excited to I'm really excited to see where this goes, because it's been a lot more chaotic than I expected it to be.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
lots of fun. As your DM, I'm quite excited. Well done, guys. That was good RP. I believe both of y'all have inspiration from the last game that you still haven't used. Similar to Jacob's game, I'll go ahead and say like up to 3 inspiration. So you guys can each give yourself 1 additional inspiration. And that's just a
Okay.
D10 you can add to whatever.
Nice.
Dude, how did you make those sleight of hand checks? What's your sleight of hand?
+3.
Damn.
I rolled a 15.
I was
and
like,
it
there's no
became an
fucking way,
18.
and it's gonna be really funny, and then like you actually made them, and I was like, wow, that's weird.
Yeah, I don't know why you put it back though. That was
Yeah,
Pretty
I
fucking-
didn't. I was really surprised that you put it back, but you did it like successfully.
yeah.
Well, I don't know. Like, personally, I would have put the note back because it's like, okay, they're gonna know the note's missing. They've been pickpocketed, so that's gonna cause them to go tell, hey, like that's just gonna raise suspicion.
Yeah, it's also in line with your plan to blow Dag's cover, because you want them to find out about Dag.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Yes.
All right, interesting. Well, I'll go ahead and let you guys go. Have a good night.
right.
I hope you feel better, brother.
All right.
Thanks.
Torvald, we can pretty much, because of your availability, I have secured Tuesdays and Wednesdays each week. So I would like to just plan for Tuesday night each week. Unfortunately, the scheduling with my other game that I'm currently in is a little wonky sometimes. I'm always playing Tuesday morning, but it seems to bounce between Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday nights. So I'll just let you guys know ahead of time if anything ever comes up.
All right.
Alright. Sounds good.
Okay, other than that, we are all square. I'll probably hang out a little bit and do this and that, but you guys are free to hang out or go to sleep if you need to.
Yeah, I'm going straight to bed.
Alright, have a good night, man. Feel better.
Later.
All right.
So yeah, what'd you think? Did you enjoy that?
Yeah, that's actually went pretty well.
I'm really, really excited to see how you guys handle the stealth mission.
Yeah, that I didn't like. I guess I should have explained
Yeah,
my reasoning
you
to
didn't tell
Ian.
him what you were doing at all, and he was just like, "Oh my god."
Yeah, that is my fault. I didn't explain to him.
That's okay. It's part of
Uh,
learning.
But what I was trying to do was I told the kid all of that because I knew that he was gonna I figured at that point he was part of like the fasteners, like he was a messenger or he was a lookout, because he had that uncanny ability of getting away and like always being out and about, like he was like a spy. So I was like, shit, I might as well just like plant that information here. I want the focus to be on shit. God damn it, I keep forgetting that motherfucker's name.
Dag, Siler Dag. I would write that down
Yeah.
if you're having trouble remembering.
How do
it.
you
Actually,
spell?
actually, since you have learned his name, if you check your journal, you will see that I have changed his, or I'm about to change his name to Dag. That's why it's in particular journal entries. I'm changing that name to Siler Dag, and he will be in your in the Port Hildian section of your NPC list next time, where Master Rhythmus is.
Okay, so I wanted the focus to be on Siler Dag. So like, essentially his cover is blown now. I mean, it's based off of my words.
You did name him very specifically, and that was prior to you guys going undercover.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing: the kid doesn't know my name. Doesn't know either of our names.
He doesn't
So
know
when-
either of your names, but you guys stand out like a sore thumb, and he has seen you traveling with Rorkval and Trollis.
Well, that's all determined if he tells anybody else from here on out. But
That's true.
so my point is though, he didn't know our names when he told Arlen. So that means that Arlen doesn't know where this rumor came from. He just knows that suspicions are on.
Well, not necessarily.
Dag.
Like I said, you guys look very unusual. Like, and he knows it came from people dressed the way you guys are dressed.
Oh yeah, true. He has the description, but
Yeah, but you
He
did
didn't recognize
you
us in
did
the bar.
threaten him. So, oh, he recognized you.
Oh, he did?
He was like turning away from you when you approached him. Remember?
oh yeah.
It was just that you had also recognized him, and he was like, "Oh shit, it's this guy."
Okay. No worry.
Yeah, no
he,
worries.
It's still like the whole point was to like basically take focus off of us. Like that was my goal, was to take focus off of us. And Ian, of course, grabbing the kid. That that was kind of just like, fuck. Now I gotta get this kid. Now he's involved.
Yeah. Yeah.
He is fully involved.
Really interesting developments. So we'll see how it all goes down. I'll go ahead and upload this session to the drive in case you guys ever want to look at it. And I'll probably just make a habit of uploading the last session to the drive in case you ever want to passively listen to it or reflect or anything like that. So y'all can catch all of my DM mistakes once you're back and paying attention.
You've been solid so far.
Yeah, I know, I'm just kidding. But I hope you guys are having fun. I'm trying to mix up the gameplay. And like I said, I'm really excited to see how everything progresses from here.
Yeah, I wasn't actually gonna kill that kid. Like from the start.
Dude,
I was
I
just
thought
like,
you
I'm
were-
gonna
I totally
like
thought
scare
you
the
were.
fucking shit out of him. Like I was gonna go all out to intimidate him, Las Vegas style.
Las Vegas style.
Dig your own grave.
Dig your own grave. He dug his own grave. Charles is like, please don't pick up another orphan. Like,
Yeah.
we don't need another one. Okay.